All right, awesome. We're recording. Hey, Cara. Y'all, I'm so excited that Cara Lyons is going to speak to us today about the 72-hour game plan. Cara was with me in Guatemala, and we had so much fun with her and her sweet husband, Ben. He and Matt just hit it off, and it was so nice to get to know some other mentors in the company. And Cara is actually on Fancy Pants. I know a bunch of y'all follow her and love her too, but she is under Amanda Lucera. And so I wanted to have her. We were chatting on the bus ride, and she was talking about her 72-hour game plan and what she has taught her girls. And so I've asked her to come and share with us. It's awesome. So, Cara, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. So, Cara Lyons. I live in Worcester, Massachusetts. I've been with LuLaRoe for it's about 2.5 years almost now. And it's been so wildly awesome. And I love talking about the 72-hour game plan because it really does work, and it really is a great tool to help you fill your calendar and really focus on getting those in-home pop-ups. When I started with LuLaRoe, and actually I'll start my screen share so we can chat. Let's see. All right. So can you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right. So when I started with LuLaRoe, I was actually pregnant with that little guy there. He is now almost 2. And my daughter there, she was about 18 months. And that's my husband, Ben. But when I started, there was not much happening online. Our businesses were really built via the in-home pop-up and building those personal connections. It was just kind of what I assumed and what I knew. I actually remember a couple months into my business, I was like, you know what? I have some friends who don't live around me. Like, maybe I should post some pictures online and maybe they'll want to buy something. I mean, I thought that was like a genius idea. I'm sure other people were doing it, but it was different back then. That's my sweet family. And that is the very first picture I have of me and Deanne. And I always like to show this when I talk for a couple of reasons. This was taken at the first convention I attended. So that would be July 2015. You can see I have my little baby Sam there. The reason this is important to me is because when I heard that convention was happening in July, I knew it was going to be about 2 months after my due date, I said, no, I can't go. I can't do it. I am not one of those people who really enjoys the newborn stage. My babies don't really sleep. My first, we had a lot of feeding issues. So I was like, no way can I travel across the country with a little baby all on my own. Who's going to help me? It's going to be terrible. I can't do it. But I had started to grow a team by then and become connected to my upline. And my team members who were planning on going, they said, no, you're going and we're going to help you. And that was kind of that. So they had the confidence in me, and so did Deanne. She just ran up to me and was excited to meet me, which really meant a lot to me. So the fact that people had confidence in me and I accomplished, and to me, it was a really big deal because my first baby was really colicky and everything. So I just didn't think that I could do this. So I really like to look back on this picture and remember that moment where I remember people feeling confident in me, and that helped me accomplish this and get so much more from my business. Just remember that your uplines all have confidence in you, and your team members all the same. So we know that you can do this. We want this for you. And you can do it. You just have to kind of go with the flow and do what works. So we're going to talk about the 72-hour game plan. This is just the graphic from the back office. And we're going to go into each of these steps in more detail. But basically, the steps to the 72-hour game plan are committing to treating your business like a business, writing your list of contacts, booking your pop-ups, promoting your pop-ups, and repeating. So step 1, treating your business like a business. There are so many different meanings to this. I just kind of put a few bullet points, but this could obviously be a whole other topic. But you want to understand what your goals are and who you're trying to serve. And the bigger your goals are, the more committed you need to be. So if you are, there's a lot of pressure in LuLaRoe to sell certain amounts, do certain things, but you need to figure out what your goals are and work accordingly. So if you want to cruise qualify and it's not happening, then you need to be, committed to doing more work, putting more in. If you are selling $5,000 a month and that's what you want for your family, great. We're happy for you. We'll support you in whatever your goals are. You want to set business hours. This is really important. I find it's still something that all of your leaders struggle with making that happen every week consistently. But and so that we can try not to be working all the time. But if you can really try to reserve some, specific time for working, you really get more done in that time. If you're having trouble setting business hours, then I like to say set non-business hours. Set the times, look at your calendar and figure out what are the times that I'm going to be with my kids and do play dates. For me, that is Monday morning and Friday morning because my other part-time working friends are off. So those are like our times we get together. Or figure out when your date night is going to be or when you're going to go get your hair cut or whatever else you need to do. Schedule those in so that you then know the times that you're not working and commit to that. And then you'll find yourself working in the other time. Be willing to invest in systems and tools and everything you need to run your business. You're just going to be so much more successful if you have the right tools. Ben likes to talk about my dad owns 2 UPS franchises, and if they say you need, we're changing over our branding, or you need like different types of, we're changing over the types of shelves we want you to have, or the desk, the front retail space, or what's going to be in the windows, like he needs to invest in that, and there's no question. So I think you guys know where I'm going with that. If there's a better tool to run your business for point of sales, just go with it.
You learn. Here,
what's that?
I'm going to mute everyone, so just unmute.
Okay. All right. Be eager to learn. Actively seek leadership. Even if you don't have anyone under you, you are a leader to everyone else, in your cross lines and uplines, and seek those roles because that will help you become more confident in your business. So seek to help other people. Be willing to sacrifice. I do believe there is a season of sacrifice for everybody who is rising to the top in this business. We've, really worked hard from the beginning. And kind of, there were times in the beginning where, you guys heard I was pregnant when I started, but to me, that just said, that just made me tell myself, I'm going to work as hard as I can to build this business as big as I can before I have this baby, so that I'm not, starting from scratch at the beginning. And my husband really supported me with that. A lot, he has spent a lot of time with our kids, and I think it's a really wonderful thing. I know a lot of you moms out there might have some of that mom guilt about leaving your children to go do all of these pop-ups, but I like to think back. I love my dad. We have a great relationship right now, but he was always working when I was a kid, and my mom was my go-to. Like, I asked her everything. She just handled everything for our household. And I already see that my kids have a much better relationship with my husband at these young ages than I did with my dad when I was a kid, because they get to spend that time together. So it is really good for them to spend time with other people who love them, whether it is, the other parent or grandparents, friends, whoever takes care of them. For me, it's important for my kids to learn that there are other people that care for them and love them. And I just found this last bullet point when I was, kind of searching around for some other tips on treating your business like a business. Don't think about when is the end game. Just think about building, and that there's always going to be new things to learn. So don't even think like I'm going to work really hard for 1 year and then I'm going to coast. There are always going to be new things coming into this business that are going to build it even bigger. Okay, now you have to build your prospect list. Why do you need a list? We have said in LuLaRoe that who's drawing on the screen, you guys? Sorry. What's that?
He said, I thought that was just on your screen.
No, this happened last time I was talking. I don't know how it happened, but it's accidental. Like, one of my team members realized after. She's like, I was somehow drawing on the screen.
Yeah, y'all stop drawing on the screen.
Yeah. So yeah, there's so many people that know about LuLaRoe, but there are so many who don't. And if you're not trying to capture those new customers, if you're only trying to take from the existing pool, we as a whole are not going to thrive as much as we should be. So building that list, I've listed a bunch of categories here where that, if you just think about these categories of people and start writing down names. So your family, your cell phone contacts, coworkers, either, former, past, former, present, or your spouse's coworkers if you don't work. High school friends and college friends who you've kind of been like casually in contact with, great people to reach out to. Neighbors, former babysitters, all of the other parents at your kids' activities. I don't know about you guys. I mean, my kids are little right now. They're 4 and almost 2. And I'm like excited for that stage where they go to school and start doing more activities, because I'm like, there's a whole other world out there of people I'm going to meet, and my network is going to grow. People at your hair salon, local dance studios, coffee shops. And I added some nonprofit ideas on here because those are places where you might think about offering to do a fundraiser. But to me, that counts as part of your 72-hour game plan. So, don't hesitate to reach out to those sort of organizations and offer to do fundraisers. Those count as events booked. Step 3, booking your pop-ups. So a couple of tips here. You want to look at your calendar. I would suggest, sitting down with the other members of your household, if that's your spouse or whoever, and figuring out like what are the times that you can commit to doing pop-ups. So knowing like when you want to do them. So I typically will do we do Saturdays, and we're open to do, we often do 2 on Saturdays. We do a lot of pop-ups at our house. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for me, it was often like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the times that I was able to book pop-ups. Deanne has always really pushed the daytime pop-up. So if you are in that like network of stay-at-home moms with older kids, that's going to be a great, time for you most likely. But so you have to figure out what works, and you don't want to be constantly surprising your husband or whoever else in your household, like, this week I have 6 pop-ups. Oh, I didn't tell you. And they have to, scramble to help take care of the kids and all of that. You want to set times where that you're going to be able to have childcare or take care of whatever else you need to do. You want to be available, but not too available. You don't want your calendar to be wide open, because then people think that, there's no sense of urgency to book with you. So if you're like showing them a physical calendar and you need to put fake things on that calendar, like just do it. They don't have to know. I try to book no more than 2 months out. Like if I was talking to someone today and they were like, oh, can we set something in July or August? Like I would say, I would really try. My first dates that I offer them would be like much closer. I really try to rein it in, because that way there's always like time later on. So I don't want to like book June completely right now and have spaces open in May that this closer I get to May, I can't book. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Also, when people are at a pop-up, and they want to, a guest wants to book their own, you having open time about 2 months away is going to be like really good for that group of friends, because they'll be ready for new things. You'll have a lot of new things. And then practicing different scripts. So we're going to get to that in the next couple of slides. So I've pulled together some different quotes from some of our top leaders who are really good at booking pop-ups. And I'm going to point out some, reasons why what they say is great. So Kim Roylance, you guys all know her. Hopefully, if you don't, you need to. She's just one of the most amazing people I know. Did you know that I'm in the business of giving clothes away? I would love to give you some. It's very easy. All you need to do is invite a few friends to your house and let me bring my amazing LuLaRoe inventory and set it up. Your friends shop, they find amazing clothes for themselves, and you get free clothing. My calendar is filling fast. I would love to get you scheduled. Which date works best for you? Let me know as quickly as possible, because I have a few others looking at those dates as well. Reasons I like this script. She's being very informative. We sometimes forget that not everybody knows like what an in-home party is or what we do. Because we like live in this little tight circle of LuLaRoe. Guys, not everyone knows. So she's explaining to them how it works, what they need to do, what they're going to get out of it. She's creating that sense of urgency by just giving them a couple of choices for dates. And she's like letting them know, like, you need to tell me soon. Like, I'm a woman on a mission to booking pop-ups. People want me, so they have to like commit quickly. Sadie Thompson, I have so many amazing prints in right now. Let's get a pop-up booked for you real quick before they're all gone. I only have 2 left. You're going to seriously love all the new stuff. And I just got it, and that I just got, and you'll love it even more when it's free. She is like full of energy and excitement in this. You have to be excited about your inventory for other people to be excited. So remember, just, to color what you're saying, like with these little tidbits of why having a pop-up is going to be so fun for them. Amy Lee, hey, gorgeous. You're flattering them right off the bat. It's awesome, right? I just had a last minute cancellation. I know you said you wanted my soonest available date. I can hold the slot for you, but I need to know in the next 30 minutes because I have a wait list and these Carlys are to die for. This is great for those type of people that seem to like never know what their schedule is. Like, you know, like, okay, I'll check my calendar and I'll get back to you. You know, that one that you keep trying to follow up with. I mean, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing a month from now, but she probably does know what she's doing like a week or two from now. So that's why I like this one. Brittany Comp, did you know that you can bring your girlfriends to my house and shop, go to dinner, then swing by afterwards to shop away my huge boutique of clothes? You don't have to clean your house and you'll leave with free, adorable items. Like I said, we do a lot of pop-ups at our house, and it is really great, especially for those of you with larger inventories. You can use that as a draw to get people to your house. I mean, I tell people, like, for all my locals, like, I pretty much only give them the option of doing it at my house because they know that I have way more stuff than I can bring. We do sometimes do pop-ups out of our house still, but we don't bring everything. I do want to say, like, if you are newer, I would still really encourage you to spend that time getting out of your house and going to them. I have a lot of people who want to host at my house, but I feel like that is because for the first, 2 years, I spent so much time getting out of my house and connecting with people, and they got to know me. And like, then they would sometimes drop in if I had an open house, or they would come to pick stuff up, and they became comfortable with me. So when I started really trying to push the pop-ups at my house, they felt comfortable with that. But just know that if it's somebody new, they might be more comfortable with you going to them. And it's something I said in the beginning, there's that season of sacrifice. So I do feel that getting out is really good for your business. And then maybe this is something you can enjoy, like, once you've started to build a community. And, I'll reiterate again, I will still do them out of the house. I feel it's important to the way what our company stands for and what I want to show my team. Here are some bonus scripts for previous hostesses and best customers. So you can really tailor it to them because you've had a pop-up with them and So when I'm doing my list of people, I love to open up my calendar, go backwards, and like, okay, which were like the best parties here with all the people wanting to buy. Hey girl, what do you think about hosting another pop-up? You did so great last time. I loved hanging out with your friends, and I know you guys will love all the new stuff coming in. Or I like to go through my recent sales, see who's shopping in my Facebook group a lot, and if they're local, they are like perfect target for a pop-up. Hey, I hope you're loving your new LuLaRoe. You're amazing. Thanks for posting all your photos in my group. What do you think about hosting a pop-up to earn some free pieces? I tell them they already have all the tools because they have an amazing wardrobe to be posting pictures, and that will get their friends really excited. So think about who is kind of like new to your shopping group. And I know that LuLaRoe is planning on adding more customer management tools to our new back office. So hopefully that will be something available where you can kind of like look at who's spending the most and where they live. I have been using that Bella charts, and there's also like Shop the Row. So there's some tools out there where you can sort of like get a good idea of what's going on in your business, who is shopping the most, and like where they're located. But also if they're shopping a lot with you, like you probably have a sense of that. Like you have names in your head, like, wow, this like newer customer, she looks like she's pretty local and she's been buying a lot. Well, you should reach out to her. Here's a bonus booking tip. I do this every time I have my list and I'm out contacting people. I post this in my Facebook group. It says, find me before I find you. So generally when you're trying to book pop-ups, I don't encourage like only posting in your Facebook group, like just posting who wants to host a pop-up with me next month. I'm offering double rewards, like yada, yada. That alone like doesn't usually get people. You need to be making those personal connections as well. However, I do this like at the same time. So I post this image in my group and I say, hey guys, I've got my list of people I'm contacting who I think want to earn some free clothes in the next couple of months. But if you send me a message before I reach you, there's going to be an extra incentive for you. And honestly, that has invited people that I didn't really know, like wanted to host a pop-up, and it's kind of sort of given them permission to contact me. And then the extra incentive, I mean, I go with the flow. I make things up. It could be like $5 off their next online purchase, or it could be a half off item at their pop-up. It's like whatever I'm in the mood for. But I found that to be a cool little thing. And even like noticing who likes the post, like maybe they liked the post, but they didn't comment. That could be a good person for you to reach out to. So once you have made your list and booked your pop-ups, then you can look at your calendar and see like, okay, where do I still need to fill in? The point of this is to aim for 4 to 6 selling opportunities per week, or what works for you and your family. So again, if you want to be cruise qualifying, if you want to sell upwards of 20K a month, like I'm going to highly suggest that 4 to 6 selling opportunities per week. That is what Deanne and Home Office have like found to reach those numbers. If your goals, whatever your goals are, set accordingly. If you want to sell more than you're selling now, then you need to create more selling opportunities. I always count my in-home parties first. So like if I want to have 4 selling opportunities a week, and I have 2 in-home pop-ups booked, and we also do a weekly online sale, so I count that as one of them. So that's 3, and then I would need 1 more. So I'd be looking for one of these bonus selling opportunities to add. So some of those would be a weekly VIP sale if you don't do it already, hosted online. Again, like I really focus on the in-home first. This is a filler for me. It is a great way to add people to your group and to just push more product, but really look at those in-homes first, because those people are going to get to know you and they're more likely to want to shop with you again and be your loyal customer. I never suggest doing a hosted online, like 1 hostess at a time. You should do multiple hostesses, or in addition to your VIP sale. So like that, I've been doing the latter. So I create an event. So like I have some next week. So we do our sales every Monday, but I create a separate event for this person. I do the hype. I ask her to hype it up with me. And then I say to all her friends who want to shop, you're going to join my Facebook group and shop during my sale Monday night, and just let me know that you're shopping with this hostess. So that way I'm not creating a ton of extra work with having to post inventory. Personal shopping hours is another one. My team is like rocking this. And it can be in person. You can set personal styling appointments for your local people to come over. Or you could do it via Facebook Live or Zoom or whatever. But that's a really fun way to connect with your customers and really give them that service. We talk about creating more value for the price of our clothes, and this is a great way to do that. Open houses. So nobody's scheduled to pop up. You're hosting your own. Mystery bag sales. We like to do that one sometimes. It'll be like, okay, today we're doing mystery maxi skirts. Tell me your size. And, there might be a surprise in your package. I'm usually pretty vague about that, you guys, just, because we want to adhere to MAP. You don't want to go telling them that there's going to be Lula cash in their package for sure. But it's a fun little thing. Facebook Lives. So we use that as a filler a lot. And I do it. My husband does it. Sometimes my kids hop in. It's funny. And with all of these things, like some are going to be better than others. It doesn't mean you don't try it again. Like you just have to keep trying, try different times of day, try different things. And the more people kind of catch buzz of like what you're doing, the more they're going to want to shop. So with your Facebook Lives, try to have a theme. Like maybe you're going to do a specific style, your favorite pieces, a certain outfit. Like, so a lot of us on the mentor trip, and we're wearing like the t-shirts over the Carlys to create different types of outfits. And I got a lot of buzz on my Facebook group. So I think I'm going to do that this week, where I pair my Carlys with classic tees and make that like the theme of a Facebook Live. And outfit sales, of course. My most successful have been where I take requests. So I have like a thread, it says style me pretty, and they can comment on the thread with like what their size is and favorite styles. And like if they have color preferences, or they like florals, or they like geometrics, or whatever it is. And then I will do like a few outfits for that person and post it in my whole feed so everybody can see it. And if they pass on it, someone else can buy it. It's a lot of work, but it is so worth it. Like there was a day where I spent kind of all day doing this, because it takes time to read through the requests, put some things together, post them, figure all that out. But it is a great way to connect with your customers. And I think, one day I sold like 40 extra pieces by just doing that. But it was something I committed to doing that day. You could also do it via live if you wanted to do it that way also. So step 4, promoting your event. I could do a whole other talk on hostess prep. But, oh my gosh, hearing fell out. But So, you want to work with your hostess to promote your events, and you want to let her know that she is your business partner in this. I really try to make that clear to my hostesses. If you guys have read The Go-Giver, hopefully you remember the part that says people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. Well, guess what? If I'm talking to my hostess, your friends trust you more than they trust me. I'm just the sales lady. They don't want to hear it from me. They're going to be more engaged with what you are posting in your event. So you want to connect with your hostess, let her know that, whether you do send her a letter or do a hostess Facebook group. This is something I've been doing. Again, it's a whole other training. But I do a group where I feed them lots of information that they can then go post in their events. And I do a group so that I'm not reaching out to so many different people. It helps me streamline my work. When you're creating your Facebook events, have shortcuts so that you can do this. Work harder, not smart. Work smarter, not harder, right? So have I have a Word document with the event description, and I go and just insert that right into my event. I'm not pulling up a past event and copying and pasting. And I always try to do multiple at a time. So I'm never just creating one event. It's always at least a couple at a time. I give all my hostesses a paper invitation. Well, I send them the JPEG of it. So there's these files in the assets box, these pictures that are basically blank invitations. And you can save that to your computer, open it up in PicMonkey or another editing tool, add the text, save it, and I send that to my hostess. And I say, hey, if you print this out on your own or go get it printed at CVS or whatever, and you hand out 30 invitations, your friends are going to, remember this and consider it much more special that they got a personal invitation. Oh, and if by the way you do that, I give you an extra half price item at your pop-up. So I give them that incentive. I always post in my shopping group all my local pop-ups. Again, they're mostly at my house, unless my hostess doesn't want me to, but most of them are totally cool with it. Again, that gives my local people shopping hours. I don't have to set a different time for them. And I'm engaged with the Facebook event, but I want my hostess to know that she needs to actually do most of the posting if she wants her free close. And lastly, repeat and share with your team. So make it a goal to get new connections, add them to your list at each pop-up, book additional pop-ups from each pop-up. The more you practice this, the better it gets with asking every customer at checkout. Now it is kind of awkward to just ask out of the, just without, some other tool. So a couple tools you could use to force that conversation would be a loyalty card. So making sure you're handing that to each person, explaining what it is that, and explain they can also host their own if they want. I point out to them where my Facebook group is listed on my card, all that. You could do a text alert system. So I offer that to all my local people that come to my pop-ups because I want them to know when they can keep shopping with me. So, after each pop-up, kind of look through who was at that. And again, this is going to get even easier as LuLaRoe adds better functionality to the customer management piece of the new Bless. So you're going to be able to see who was buying the most, or maybe who was buying not a lot, but had a lot of stuff in her pile. She's a good person to contact because maybe she needs to earn those items for free. You want to repeat this whole process every time you need bookings. And it's a great idea to create some challenges within your team. So again, even if you don't have a downline, gather your cross lines to do it with you. I've seen people had great success if they make a bet, whoever books the most pop-ups, we're going to get together, and whoever does the most, she gets whatever, she earns something from the other people. I think I did it once with my downline, and I focused on just my directs for this one, and I said whoever books more than me, because I didn't know how many I was going to book, whoever books more than me, I gave them an Amazon gift card. So it's a great way to just engage, and then you have motivation to cheer each other on and all that. So where is my
That's awesome, Cara. And I loved the challenging your team. And I liked the book more than me. I should do that because I need to get some more on the book.
I like it because they're not they don't even know what their goal is. They just need to book,
Right. I know. Maybe I'll do that. How long did you give them?
I think I gave them 5 days or something. I know we call it 72-hour game plan, but I wanted them to know, I'm getting my list together. Go get your, you want to give them some notice, get your list together, and this is when we're starting, that kind of thing.
No, I'm looking at the calendar right now. Maybe I'll do that. That's a great idea. Today is the 28th, so maybe by the 1st, whoever books more than me.
Yeah. And then that gives them that great, like, April,
Yeah, for April and May. That's awesome.
Yeah. Or like encouraging them to, like, where they don't have pop-ups, like fill in with those other opportunities so that they are getting that 4 to 6 selling opportunities per week. And I also wanted to add, you guys, like, I know that all of those little selling opportunities, they might not equate to a 30, 40, 50 piece pop-up. It might be 10 pieces. It might be 5. Like, you never know, but it's still really good to be consistent. And like, you never know who's watching. Ben and I are not like pros at live sales. I know that there are some people out there who just kill it by going live every day. Like, we're working on it. We're practicing. For us, it's like an add-on thing right now. And again, sometimes we sell like just like 2 pieces, but it's still a fun way to interact with our customers. But Sunday, when we were back from the trip, we're like, let's just go live with this new stuff before we post it all on Monday. Mm-hmm. And we sold like 20 pieces and like 3 brand new customers. I don't know where these people are during my regular Monday sale, but maybe they like live sales. You never know who's watching. So.
Right. That is true. That is true. And like you said, for new girls, I think it is really important to get out of the house first. That's something that I tell my girls, because you're developing those relationships with women who love LuLaRoe, and they'll be the ones to come to your house, because you don't want to just open up your house, because a lot of people don't know about LuLaRoe and then they don't know you and they're not going to come to some random stranger's house. So you need to go out, be very present at shows, even if you're having a bad day. You know, I always like grab a coffee, listen to great music on my way to a pop-up. And, you know, your hostess doesn't want to know if you've had a bad day or if your last sale you only sold 2 things. Like, you go in, you're super excited about your inventory, even if it's not all brand new inventory. Super excited and just have fun. And that excitement attracts other people, and you want to make it fun, because that's when you sell more. And then you develop those relationships, and you can tell them to come to your house because they know you and feel a little bit more comfortable. So that is really important.
Yeah, I mean, it's that fake it till you make it. And for a lot of us, that does require getting a little out of our comfort zone, you know, but just remember, for that 1.5 or 2 hour period, you're their best friends, you know.
Exactly.
Put your phone away, like, unless you're showing them some cute styling thing, put your phone away.
Right.
And just focus on them and be present. I try to think of like stores that I really like to shop at too. Like, for me, one is like Trader Joe's. I don't know if you guys have that down there, but they like just make you feel like so welcome. They always ask how you're doing. They ask like what you're doing over the weekend. They're just so friendly there. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think about that and how like we have this opportunity to create that for our customers, you know, to build our brand so that people are thinking like, wow, like, I really like those LuLaRoe people. Like, they're really nice and they're always like happy and they care about me, and not like, oh, I pity them because they work for this company that, you know, produces holy leggings and they don't, you know, like, we don't, that's not us. You know, you have the opportunity to connect with people and show them who we really are, and not just be that random person online behind a computer that.
Right.
You know, so.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you popping on here. And
thank you.
I hope you have a great week. I'm sure I'll talk to you today or tomorrow. Yeah. But thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
And let me know how your challenge goes.
I will. And y'all, that is a challenge. That is a challenge. So from now until April 1st, book as many pop-ups as you can, and I am too. And the winners will all get a surprise from me if they book more than me. Cara, did you do only in-home or online too?
What I did was I said, like, basically in-home count is 1, and online, I think I said every 3 counts as 1.
Okay.
So like, because I didn't want people booking like just one online hostess at a time. Like, it needed to be like, do either a battle of the hostesses kind of thing, or, you know, and I don't know. I mean, I know there's like varying levels of success with this. I mean, I have had like a few online hostesses who sell 30 pieces, which is awesome, but like not all of them do. So,
right.
But yeah, I really want to push the in-home pop-up.
Me too. I mean, I
feel and then those people are going to keep buying from you. So
they are, and they buy more too, because they can actually see it and touch it and match things together. So awesome. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.